Hey, Gypsy, you want to look at the camera? Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Samita, and in this channel I will be sharing with you guys my journey, my life journey really, through traveling and through food, because I love those two things so much and I want to share it. So I want to start off with this video, well this entire channel really, by talking about my recent trip to my home country, Thailand. When you visit Thailand, there are a few things that you should be mindful of. And I just want to say that this is not a do not do list. This is more of a watch out for list. So let's go. Number one, tuk-tuk. I know it looks fun. I know it is fun. I ride it a million times. I love it. But make sure that don't make tuk-tuk like a mean of transportation for your whole trip. Make sure that you use all the type of transportation as well, especially public transportation like ferry, MRT, BTS, I know those sky trains. They are very easy to use. The thing is, tuk-tuk, although fun, although really authentic, it's, trust me, local ride tuk-tuk too. There's not a lot of regulations on tuk-tuk, and the price that you're going to be paying is very depending on the driver that you get for the trip. Make sure that you use all the type of transportation. Make sure you use tuk-tuk for fun and for fun only. And make sure you negotiate ahead of time. You can definitely negotiate. Number two, the second thing I want to talk about is taxi. The reason I brought taxi up, although it's regulated, there's a lot of taxi driver that will try to get over that. Like a cab in the United States have a meter, but the problem is I've run into a cab drivers who refuse to use the meter and want to negotiate a price with you. Don't do that. There's tons of taxi in Thailand, in Bangkok especially. If they insist on not using a meter, don't go with them, because it's not fair for you, it's not fair for them. If the price favor you, then they underpaid. If the price favor them, well, then you overpaid. And usually it's the latter, and by a long shot. So make sure just go with the meter unless you negotiating a price for taxi to go somewhere far. Like a common trip for a taxi would be, from city center Bangkok or Old Town Bangkok to the floating market. Those are pretty far, so negotiate that. But if it's between 10-15 miles within that range, I would not negotiate. I would just go with the meter. It's usually very affordable. I've rode a cab there from Nonthaburi, which is where my family live, to Old Town Bangkok. It was over 10 miles and I paid 120 bahts, which is like minimum, it's like $4 or $5. So make sure that go with the meter. Now the third thing I want to talk about is the mall. I noticed that when I look up the place to visit when you're in Bangkok, a few places come up that are malls. There's really nothing for you to see, nothing spatial at all. I would say this: if you are ever nearby the mall, walking distance, if you're ever hungry or really hot, if these three things happen, you're near the mall, you're hungry and you're hot, that's a good time for you to go to the mall. Outside from that, I would not go. This is the fourth thing. So number 4, I would be careful with the stuff that you carry. There have been cases of pickpocketing in Thailand, especially in Bangkok. So make sure not to carry a lot of cash each day. The rule of thumb for me, if you're gonna go out for sightseeing, 1,500 bahts per person should do for a full day of sightseeing. So that's a rule of thumb there. And make sure that if you have a purse, it's the purse you can swing in the front and have zippers so you can zip it easily. And it's, if you have a backpack, make sure that you wear it in front, out front when you are in a more crowded place. So the fifth thing I want to talk to you guys about is the restaurants. I just want to say that most restaurants in Thailand don't come up on Apple Map. You guys can Google the good place to eat. It usually come up on Google Map, but not on Apple. Not sure why. Well, I think it's because most places don't have a name of the restaurants. So make sure you're aware of that. And if you don't, I would try not to eat anywhere within the 2-3 minutes walk, 2 to 5 minutes walking distance from major attractions. Like I would not eat anywhere near between 2 to 5 minutes walk from Temple of Emerald Buddha. I know a good place to eat near there. I can make another video featuring my aunt who works right across from, you know, from the temple. And here's a good rule of thumb. I wouldn't say a rule of thumb, but here's a little red flag that you can spot. If you go somewhere where it looks like it is just a hole in the wall place, but when you sit down they give you a menu, like a book, I would stay away from that place, because most Thai restaurants don't have a lot of things to put on the menu. One page usually is enough. Most places will have menu written on the wall. Now the last thing I want to talk about is to be careful with things that you say over there in Thailand. Thailand is very strict when it comes to disrespecting the authority or the institution. So I would keep a lot of things in your head and say it in the hotel with your friends or family. But I would not say it outside, regardless of what language you speak. I'm telling you, somebody's speaking it and somebody's snitching. The law there is very strict. I don't believe that if you were charged with disrespecting the institution, you would get a fair trial. I don't think that that's going to happen. You will not be provided a lawyer. So make sure you keep things to yourself when you go there. And that's pretty much it. Aside from that, if you have any questions, you can let me know down below. I lived there for 16 years. I know it's not like a stamp of approval, but I know my shit. Okay? Alright. Bye guys. See you guys later.